The pursuit of superficial pleasures is not the true source of happiness. True happiness lies in enjoying the present without anxiously depending on the future. The incessant search for material goods and wealth is a habit that often leaves us empty and unsatisfied, weakening our sense of contentment and diverting our attention from the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. Excessive materialism arises from an insatiable desire for more and the mistaken belief that possession of goods will bring lasting happiness. Instead, it's important to direct our focus toward cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and kindness, which are the true sources of fulfillment. We must stop looking for things that happen and start looking for things that are intangible. Seeking external validation is another habit that often makes us vulnerable to the opinions and judgments of others, weakening our self-esteem and happiness by placing our self-esteem in the hands of others. Life is a journey full of ups and downs, challenges and triumphs. It's a constant battle between our inner strengths and weaknesses. While we all aspire to live a life of purpose and resilience, there are habits that often prevent us from reaching our full potential on this journey. In this text, we will explore 7 of these habits that weaken us and learn how to overcome them using the principles of Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC that offers timeless wisdom to help us navigate the complexities of modern life. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, to cultivate virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline, and to accept life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. As we explore these 7 habits, let's remember that self-awareness is the first step toward transformation. By recognizing and admitting these habits within us, we can begin the journey of replacing them with the historical principles that will enable us to lead a life of strength, purpose, and inner peace. Habit 1: Time procrastination. Epictetus said the key is to surround yourself only with people who lift you up, whose presence brings out the best in you. Procrastination, the act of putting off tasks and responsibilities, is a habit that afflicts many of us. It weakens our resolve, hinders our progress, and ultimately deprives us of precious time that could be invested in personal growth and meaningful endeavors. The historical solution to procrastination lies in the concept of carpe diem, that is, seizing the day. In Stoicism, the focus is on the present moment, not the future or the discomfort of the task at hand. To overcome this habit, we must adopt a historical mindset and remember that the only moment we truly control is now. A historical philosopher advised us to focus on what is within our reach and abandon what is not. Procrastination often arises from focusing on the potential outcomes or difficulties of a task rather than simply taking action. By adopting the historic principle of focusing on the process rather than the outcome, we can free ourselves from the shackles of procrastination. Start by setting small, manageable goals and consistently working toward them. Accept the discomfort and uncertainty of the present moment, as it is in these moments of challenge that we grow and develop the strength to face greater tasks. Habit 2: Negative self-talk. The enemy within, as Marcus Aurelius said, is what shapes our lives according to our thoughts. The way we talk to ourselves has a profound impact on our self-esteem, confidence, and overall well-being. Negative self-talk is a habit that weakens us, undermining our self-confidence and preventing us from realizing our true potential. Stoicism teaches us to take control of our thoughts and replace negativity with rationality and self-compassion. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned historical philosophers and Roman emperors, emphasized the importance of monitoring our internal dialogue. He believed that our perception of the world is shaped by our thoughts, and therefore we should strive to maintain a positive and rational mindset. To combat negative self-talk, start by observing your thoughts without judgment. Notice when self-criticism or self-doubt arises and challenge these thoughts rationally. Ask yourself if these thoughts are based on evidence or are just products of fear and insecurity. Stoicism encourages us to practice self-compassion, treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a friend facing a similar situation. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes or perceived shortcomings, focus on what you can learn from them and how can be improved by replacing the negative self-talk by the historical principles of rationality and self-compassion. You will discover a strength, inner self, and resilience that will enable you to face life's challenges with confidence and grace. The third habit is to avoid seeking external approval, escaping the trap of seeking validation from other people. Instead, we should direct our attention to things that have never happened before. Seeking external validation often makes us vulnerable to the opinions and judgments of others, weakening our self-esteem and happiness as we place our self-esteem in the hands of others. Stoicism teaches us to find our validation internally by focusing on our own character and actions, rather than the opinions of others. Epictetus, known for his lessons on self-control, emphasized the importance of distinguishing what is in our control and what is not. Seeking external validation is beyond our control, as we cannot control how others perceive or judge us. However, we can control our own thoughts, actions, and character. To free ourselves from the approval trap, we must recognize the futility of seeking validation from external sources. No matter how hard we try, we cannot control the opinions of others. Instead, we should focus our energy on cultivating virtues like wisdom, integrity, and kindness. Stoicism encourages us to align our actions with our own principles and values rather than seeking external approval. When we act in accordance with our moral compass, we find internal validation that is much more meaningful and lasting than external praise. The fourth habit is to avoid the habit of complaining and victimizing yourself. If we are distressed by something external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to our assessment of it, and we have the power to revoke that assessment at any time. Complaining weakens our focus on the negative aspects of life, makes us feel like victims, and perpetuates a cycle of powerlessness. Stoicism teaches us to change our perspective and take responsibility for our reactions and attitudes, regardless of the circumstances. Our perception of external events is controlled by our interpretation of those events, not the events themselves. Complaining about external circumstances only reinforces a mentality of powerlessness and dissatisfaction. To break the habit of complaining, we must practice gratitude and change our perspective. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what is going wrong, we should focus on what we have and what is going well. We must consider the bigger picture and recognize that challenges and setbacks are opportunities for growth and learning. Stoicism encourages us to accept the unpredictable nature of life and develop emotional resilience in the face of adversity. By reframing our perspective and taking responsibility for our reactions, we discover that complaining no longer has control over us, and we can face life's challenges with a feeling of empowerment. The fifth habit is to avoid indulging in excessive materialism and the pursuit of empty pleasures. True happiness lies in enjoying the present without anxiously depending on the future. The relentless pursuit of material possessions and wealth often leaves us empty and unfulfilled, weakening our sense of contentment and distracting us from the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. Stoicism teaches us to find happiness in the present moment and to focus on cultivating internal virtues, rather than seeking external possessions. Seneca, a prominent historical philosopher, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between wants and needs. Excessive materialism arises from the insatiable desire for more and the mistaken belief that possessions will bring lasting happiness. Stoicism encourages us to reevaluate our desires and prioritize those that align with our values and well-being. To overcome the habit of excessive materialism, we must practice being content with what we have. We must recognize that the pursuit of material possessions often puts us in a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Instead, we should direct our focus to cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and kindness, which are the true sources of fulfillment. Stoicism also encourages us to practice mindfulness and gratitude, appreciating the simple joys of life and finding joy in the present moment. When we detach our happiness from material possessions and external status symbols, we discover a deep sense of inner peace and contentment. Habit 6. Avoiding comfort zone traps. If you want to improve yourself, be willing to be seen as foolish and stupid. Avoiding challenges and staying in your comfort zone is a pattern that undermines your growth and potential, obstructing the development of resilience, courage, and the ability to adapt to new situations. Stoicism teaches us to embrace discomfort and adversity as opportunities to grow and improve. Epictetus believed that personal growth and self-mastery often involve facing challenges and expanding our limits. Avoiding challenges not only limits your potential, it also prevents you from experimenting. Stoicism encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and face the unknown with courage and determination. To break the habit of avoiding challenges, start by identifying the areas in your life where you tend to shy away from challenges, whether in your career, relationships, or personal goals. Recognize where you have taken the safe path and commit to taking calculated risks. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of practicing virtue in the face of adversity. When facing challenges, focus on cultivating virtues such as resilience, patience, and perseverance. Embrace the discomfort of the unknown and trust in your ability to adapt and grow. Habit 7. Dwelling on the past. The current of repentance. Remember that you have control over your mind, not external events. Understand this and you will find strength. Reliving the past, especially past mistakes and regrets, is a behavior that weakens your ability to move forward and find peace in the present, and can generate feelings of guilt, shame, and stagnation. Stoicism teaches us to accept the past as it is and to focus on what is within our control, the present and the future. As Marcus Aurelius stated in his Meditations, we have power over our mind and thoughts, even if we cannot change the past. Dwelling on past mistakes only perpetuates the cycle of regret and self-criticism. To overcome the habit of dwelling on the past, understand that making mistakes is part of human nature and does not define your value or potential. Practice self-compassion and forgiveness, treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Instead of beating yourself up over mistakes or perceived shortcomings, focus on what you can learn from them and how you can improve. Stoicism also encourages us to focus on the present moment and take meaningful action toward our future goals and aspirations. When you shift your focus from the past to the present, you will find a renewed sense of purpose and the strength to create a brighter future. If you liked today's video, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next video.